Hello and welcome to the Experiencing Love podcast. I'm your host, Philip Jocks, and I'm so glad that you're here. Do you practice task switching a lot? Do you practice trying to do a bunch of stuff in one day? Sometimes it's in different areas of your life, or maybe it's in the same area, but it's a bunch of different things, one after the other. I used to do that for me, and today I tried something a little bit different, which is rather than try to make a little bit of progress in a bunch of different areas, I'm just going to focus on one thing today. And doing that worked. It helped so much. I was actually able to stay focused, and I got done one of the things that I had to get done. I say one of the things, it's more like one of the projects, right? Rather than try to get only one part of the project done, I got the entire project done all at once, from start to finish. And it was because I didn't have to switch my focus to something completely irrelevant to the project. And that brought up the question for today. Do you find yourself switching focus a bunch? Do you switch tasks because you have a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it? I bring it up so that maybe you can try just focusing on one thing at a time. You may or may not know this, but multitasking has been proven to be a myth. Instead, what we do is we focus switch. We rapidly switch from one thing to the other, and some people are more efficient or better able to switch their focus, but nonetheless, that's what's happening. The thing that happens when you focus switch, though, is each switch causes you to drain a little bit more energy. Rather than being able to get into a flow state, you're in that state of needing to constantly reboot old information that may be already a second old or half a second old. But each time you have to reboot that information, it's unnecessary energy you're spending. Learning about that was fascinating for me, but I never quite put it into practice until today, at least to the extent that I did today. I got rid of any notion that I wanted to work on anything else today other than the one project that I had in mind. Because of that, I didn't think about anything else, and I finished ahead of schedule. That's the part that blew my mind. I finished ahead of schedule, and I sat back and wondered what to do now. Because rather than it taking 4, 5, 6 hours, I finished in 3. And in reality, it's something I probably could have done in 2, maybe 1.5. I could do it in that time when I get better at using this skill. I think that's part of the creator or the maker inside of me, that it likes that undisturbed, straight focus time. It loves that focus time because I could get into that flow state. I think one important skill that I'm building over the last few weeks and especially over the next few months is being able to get into that flow state more often. I want to perform and I need to perform. I need to create and I need to lock in because I know that the life that I want comes purely from creation. It doesn't exist now, so I quite literally have to create the lifestyle that I want. It's not impossible. It's not impossible because it's not something extremely extravagant. Many people have it. It's just something that I need to do for myself. And the important thing that I have to remind myself is that it's not going to happen for me. Nobody's going to come by and give me everything I want like a plug and play and just say, everything's all set. All you have to do is sit in this chair and accept it. The life that I want requires effort and energy. It requires action, execution, time, and I'm so willing and excited to put all the resources I need into it because it's not about the life that I'm creating. It's about the person I become in pursuit of that life. I'm going to grow into the man that I'm meant to become. I have an idea of who that man is, but I also find that give or take every 6 months, I surprise myself. And I learn something new and my trajectory changes. My plan changes, my dreams change. Not drastically, not anymore at least, but they change enough that it's surprising. And maybe it doesn't just change, but it becomes clear. It's a slight shift, a slight pivot, plus some magnification, some definition. I find that most people aren't that far off from the life that they want, the dreams that they have. They're just a few key actions away from achieving it. But most importantly, it's not just the actions, it's the actions we do on ourselves. I guess it's the actions that we take that change us as people. Those are the ones that really have the impact on our lives long term. I love being here and I love speaking with you because I also get the opportunity to try out these ideas. I get to try out not only how they feel to act them out, but it also gives me the chance to try out how it feels to talk about it, how it feels to bring it up in conversation, bring it up to someone who can use this or benefit from it. Admittedly, this is a one-sided conversation, yes, but nonetheless, I'm practicing getting the words out of my mouth. I also find that the more I talk about something, the more I embrace it, the more it's part of who I am. And there's a lot of things that I want to be a part of who I am. See, I'm already a hardworking man. I'm already a problem solver. And one thing I really want to be is an action taker. That's why I always talk about taking action. Not just thinking about what I want to do, but actually doing it. I have a funny story from yesterday that, looking back on it, maybe wasn't the smartest idea, wasn't 100% the safest, but I'm still proud of myself for taking action. So out of nowhere yesterday, it started raining cats and dogs. It was raining so hard. I'm in my car. I just left the grocery store, and I see a man walk past, walking across an intersection on his way to who knows where. And he's walking in this heavy rain, and he doesn't have an umbrella. Knowing it, he's getting soaked head to toe. And as I see this man, I immediately have the thought, Philip, you should offer him a ride. And so maybe you're thinking what I thought, which is immediately, no, do not do that. This is unsafe. You don't know who that is. Who knows? Maybe that's a serial killer. Maybe he's going to hurt you when he gets into the car. And so I didn't pick him up. I just drove straight. And then I had this moment of clarity where I just asked myself, was that reaction out of love or out of fear? Was that reaction the same that someone would have if they were purely thinking, feeling, and behaving out of love? Or was it any shred of a fear? If you've been here long enough, you know that that was fear talking. That was fear talking, and I immediately sunk into my chair behind the wheel in my car in the dry seat, and I just told myself that I don't want to act out of fear. I don't want to act out of fear, and I don't want my life to be a representation of fear chasing me or me running away from fear. But I still kept driving straight. I still kept driving away. And the funny part is this little voice in my head saying, Philip, that was fear. You can do something different. And me responding with, yeah, I could do something different. And I kept driving forward. And then the voice came again, Philip, you still have a chance. You've noticed the fear. Now you could do something different. And I was like, I could totally do something different. And I kept driving straight. And about the third time, the little voice in my head goes, now, are you sure? And without quite thinking about it and just feeling it, letting my heart take over, I knew that the answer was not just to give this person a ride, but at least to just ask. Be the opportunity that someone else needs. And so I quickly turned down a side street, turned around, drove all the way back to where I saw the man. And I did pull up right next to him, asked if he needed a ride, and he very politely declined. And I accepted that answer and I drove away. And a flood of emotions came over me. Pride that I felt a fear and decided to overcome that fear rather than sitting in it. Also a little bit of excitement because I did that, but also a little bit of cringe, if that's an emotion, or, my body kind of felt strange because then the fear crept back over me saying, Philip, that could have gone so poorly. What if he did say yes and then attacked you? All that stuff. Even though at that point I was already safe, I'm already driving away, nothing bad happened, but it was that voice that came back in with fear. That first voice, not the little one that reminds me to love, but the one that questions me with what ifs and notions of pain and suffering. I love that moment that I had because it's a chance that we all get, but not many people take advantage of. We don't take advantage of overcoming our fears. I'm never upset that I have a fear. I'm only upset if I don't act in accordance of overcoming that fear. I love my fears because my fears directly show me where I have room to grow. The fears we do not face become our limits. So every single time I face my fears, I'm expanding my limits. My comfort circle, my comfort zone, it's growing, it's expanding. More of the world becomes a part of my life because I'm not hiding away. And just to be clear, a few minutes later, I did see another person down the road with an umbrella this time, and the fear was stronger because I already had that pride of doing it once. and I didn't stop for this person. So I'm not perfect. I admit that. But I want to show you that I'm trying. I want to show you that I'm trying and that I'm proud of myself for trying, and that I want you to be proud of yourself for trying. You're doing your best, and maybe you're the only one that sees it. You don't go on a podcast and you share it, but you know that you did the right thing. And even though I don't know what that is, I want you to know that I'm proud of you. You don't have to do it for me to be proud of you, because you're allowed to be proud of yourself. You should be proud of yourself. Maybe for the rest of today or sometime next week, you can choose one thing, one fear, to really focus on why it's not true. Give yourself that ability to see the love in every situation. Focus on overcoming it and be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself for the work you're doing on yourself to become the best version of yourself. You're on the way there, and I can't wait to meet you. So until we meet, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Remember to always fill up with the love, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.